Alrighty, good. Is it Wednesday or Thursday? It's Thursday. Good Thursday evening, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecaster coming back here once again, here to give you guys a quick weather video going over what's going to be happening as we move into the upcoming as we move into Friday and into the upcoming weekend here. So, just going to wait for a few more people to come in at this point here. We're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to talk about Saturday. We're going to talk about Sunday. Going to try to answer as many questions as possible. So biggest thing I want to stress right now for those that are coming in, hold your questions because I've got a ton of information I got to go over. So to repeat, hold your questions. I promise you I'm going to try to get to you guys as quickly as possible here. So we're just going to wait for a little bit. Let me get my radar back here working. Give me a second. Alright, there we go. Alright, I just realized the radar back there was off. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to come in at this point. If you end up missing this live stream, very, very important that you can go back and rewind it. That way you're not missing any information here. So I'm going to give it about another minute or so. Just let some people come in at this point. Hope y'all are having a good evening, by the way. Thank you for the stars, by the way. I appreciate y'all for doing that. And if you know anybody that's hearing about this weekend, talking about, on social media about this big severe threat that's coming this weekend, bring them here, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be asking questions during the warnings and during the live coverage, and we can't do that, guys. We can't sit here and answer questions while we have severe weather ongoing. So this is the time right now to have people come in and get those questions answered. To repeat, this is the time right now. If you ever needed a question answered, this is going to be your time frame right now while we're live here, okay? So I think we've gotten pretty much everybody that we can. Like I said before, if you end up missing this live stream, you can come back and watch it at a later time frame. So this morning, we had a cluster of storms move through central Arkansas. Had a lot of hail and also the damage wind threat this morning. Also got a lot of reports of trees down, etc. That cluster of storms has completely disappeared. We have a warm front that's slowly moving north and will move north as we move into the night, into the first part of your Friday morning. As you can see on the south side of that warm front, we have a lot of fuel, a lot of severe storm fuel down here in southern Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. This is where it's going to set the stage for the potential for severe weather as we move into tomorrow, and then on Saturday, and then on Sunday, possibly into Monday, by the way, and then we should finally end this threat as we move into Monday afternoon and into Monday evening here, okay? So let's go over to the risk areas at this point. I want to talk to you guys about tomorrow, and then we're going to talk about Saturday, we're going to talk about Sunday, we're going to talk about the bus potential, etc. Folks, let me make this perfectly clear. Those that are coming in, hang on to your questions and stay patient. Patience is going to go a very long way with this, guys. It's going to go a very long way if you want your questions answered on air. So hang on. Let me get over all this information first, and then we will get to your questions here, okay? So this is for tomorrow. We have that level 2 for much of western and northern Arkansas. This is mainly going to be for the potential of damaging winds, large hail, and the potential of a few tornadoes as we move into tomorrow. Let me make this clear. We're not expecting a tornado outbreak for tomorrow here, okay? Let me make that perfectly clear at this point. This is a level 2 risk. That means strong thunderstorms are pretty much likely, but could a few storms go severe? There's a lot of limiting factors, and I'm going to go over in this live stream talking about tomorrow at this point. We're also going to go over timing as well. Another thing, storms are going to be weakening as they move further to the east because of the fact that you're going to have ridging building in from the east moving west. So for folks in eastern Arkansas, the Blytheville area, down to West Memphis, down towards El Dorado and across it, Lake Village, you may not even see a drop of rain over the next 2 days, while areas in western Arkansas may have whole severe thunderstorm warnings or even tornado warnings. So just keep that in mind as we move into the next couple of days here. Some folks are going to see severe weather, while other areas may not even see much in the way of rainfall, but everybody's going to see rainfall as we move into Sunday here, okay? So this is the tornado threat as we get towards tomorrow. Now, this is a possible risk for much of Arkansas, from Jonesboro all the way down to Camden, down to Magnolia. Like I mentioned before, this is not going to be a tornado outbreak by any stretch of the matter. Let me make that perfectly clear. If you don't see severe weather tomorrow, like I mentioned before, over the next 2 to 3 days, you're going to see that potential, especially on Sunday. I think Sunday has the best potential to impact a lot of more people than Friday and Saturday. So just keep that in mind. But for our folks over there in western Arkansas, tomorrow, You're going to wake up in the morning, we're going to have storms coming in from Oklahoma and Texas, and then we're going to have another round that's going to come in tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So make sure that you have a way to get alerts. You download our mobile app. You stay weather aware as we move into tomorrow here, okay? Now, the large hail threat from much of western Arkansas to central, northern, down into southwestern Arkansas. And then you can see over there along the Arkansas-Oklahoma border from Fayetteville to Fort Smith, Waldron, Mena, down to DeQueen. That area is hatched. It's hatched for the potential 2-inch in diameter hail or greater. And I wouldn't be shocked over the next couple of updates here, because we have one coming in at midnight tonight, and then we have one coming in during the day tomorrow. So I wouldn't be shocked that this hatched area kind of moves a little bit to the east as we move into later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, just because there's some agreement that we will have some supercells to deal with as we move into tomorrow here, okay? So the damaging wind threat, pretty much the same area. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts could be possible in this dark red area, basically from western Arkansas up to northern Arkansas. The further east you go, the lower the severe threat. The west and the north you go, the better the severe threat is going to be as we move into tomorrow here, okay? So let's talk about timing real quickly here, okay? So it's going to be broken down into 2 different rounds of thunderstorm activity as we move into tomorrow. You're going to have storms that are going to come out first thing tomorrow morning across western Arkansas. That activity is going to move east, and then you're going to have a redevelopment of thunderstorms coming out of southeastern Oklahoma, northeast Texas. That's going to move into Arkansas during the day tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. So this is round number 1 that's going to come in. I hate this because it confuses a lot of people, but this is going to be broken down into 2 different rounds. So you're going to have storms first thing tomorrow morning across western Arkansas in that zone 1 area from about 7 a.m. to 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow morning. I would say the hail and wind threat is pretty much the main hazards. I cannot rule out an isolated tornado or 2 first thing tomorrow morning. So just kind of keep that in mind. It depends on what happens out west, with that severe threat out there in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. What happens with those storms as they move eastward? Do they weaken? Do they make it? Do they, is it going to overperform? There's a lot of questions on how storms are going to be first thing tomorrow morning. So just kind of keep that in mind for your morning drive along I-49, down there on 270, down there in southwest Arkansas. Just keep that in mind as you move into tomorrow. As you move further to the east, your timing is going to be from about 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock. And this is going to be heavily dependent on if you're going to see those storms weaken, or they're going to continue to go all the way into eastern Arkansas as we move into tomorrow morning here. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is going to be in 2 different rounds. There's one round coming in, and then you're going to have another round that's going to be coming in as we get towards tomorrow. For those that are wondering, you're not late. We're waiting for some more people to come in. That way you guys get your questions answered. This is the best time frame right now. This is why we have a Q&A live stream before the warnings start coming in, because we can't answer questions when you have severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings on the board. We can't do that. This is why we do these live streams a night beforehand, so you guys kind of have a picture on what's going on. Okay, so this is round number 1. Let's take a look at round number 2. Now, round number 2 is going to be a little different. You're going to have storms. Let's see if I can draw this out for you guys. Give me just 1 second here. Let me see if I can get my marker to work over here. There we go. All right, so storms tomorrow are going to be moving in this general motion. It's going to be from southwest to northeast tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, okay? So tomorrow morning storms are going to move from west to east, and then your new round that's going to develop down there in southeast Oklahoma, southwest Arkansas, northeast Texas, that activity is going to move from southwest to northeast. So round number 2 is going to be different from round number 1, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you have a ridge that's going to be developing out here in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and the southeast. That ridge is going to be moving from east to west. So it's going to push your thunderstorm activity from much of southwestern, western, northern, and northeastern Arkansas. Instead of it coming through the state, your clear zone is actually going to start in eastern Arkansas and kind of progress its way westward as your ridging begins to build in, which is going to set the stage for that big severe weather tornado outbreak potential out there in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas on Saturday. And then our severe threat comes back as we move into your Sunday time frame here. So I promise you guys I'm going to get to your questions in just a little bit, but I wanted to explain all of this before we dive into those questions here. Okay, so round number 1 is coming through tomorrow morning. Round number 2 is going to be tomorrow afternoon. And then you can see zone 1 from Texarkana, Hope, Arkadelphia to the metro over to Fort Smith. It's going to be about 6 p.m. tomorrow till 10 o'clock. And then zone 2 from Fayetteville, Searcy, Jonesboro over to Walnut Ridge, Mount Holm. We're talking about 8 p.m. tomorrow till midnight. And this is going to be heavily dependent on what happens with these storms that pushes out from Oklahoma and Texas later on tonight into the first part of your tomorrow morning. It's going to be very, 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 very crucial on what happens as we move into tomorrow morning and into the midday tomorrow. So that's something that we're going to be watching very, very closely as we get towards tomorrow. Now, I want to talk to you guys about Sunday here. Now, I'm going to break this down first, and then we're going to go over to Sunday's threat. Also, the timing is wrong on this graphic. We made this first thing this morning, so just ignore the timing on this. But this is the bust potential as we get towards tomorrow. I want to talk to you guys about this too, because with severe weather, there's always that bust potential. It just happens. So a couple of things for tomorrow. We're having lift issues. The main system tomorrow is going to track well to the north and west of Arkansas. So what does that mean? That means that we probably will not be seeing a big-time severe weather or tornado outbreak tomorrow. This is a very good slight risk-worthy day as we get towards tomorrow. Another thing, morning storms. If we have those storms that are kind of like what happened this morning, if we have storms that are that intense coming in first thing tomorrow morning, that's going to keep cloud cover around. It's going to limit the heating and the instability, and that could lead to that afternoon threat kind of busting across southwestern, western, northern Arkansas. So keep that in mind. First thing tomorrow morning, we're going to look. If those thunderstorms are really intense coming in, then the afternoon threat's probably not going to be as bad as the morning threat. So something that we're going to monitor very closely. And then also capping issues. And like I said before, that morning threat, it's going to come in, and if it's intense, it's going to leave what we call sinking air in place, and it's going to prevent these storms from really getting going in the afternoon and in the evening. So I wanted to talk about Friday first. I know everybody's anxious about, Saturday and Sunday. We got to get through tomorrow first. We got to get through that first, and then we'll start talking about the weekend here. So this is what we've got at this point across western Arkansas for tomorrow. Now, let's talk about Saturday. I'm going to break this down, and then we'll go into your questions here, because this is the last one of the graphics here. And let me double check, because one of them didn't get loaded in here. But let me go over here. There we go. All right, so that's Sunday. There's Saturday. So Saturday's threat is going to move to the west over in Oklahoma, Texas, and into Kansas here. But there could be an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, especially across western and northwestern Arkansas as we move into tomorrow. The biggest thing on Saturday is if storms were to make it into western Arkansas Saturday night and into first thing Sunday morning. Another thing, the lifting mechanism to get storms going is going to be west of Arkansas on Saturday. So that's why we're really not expecting a whole lot of severe weather that is going to be pushing in as we get towards Saturday night and Sunday. That's why we're not really expecting a lot of severe weather for Saturday during the day. It's going to be Saturday night into Sunday if we see those storms make it into western Arkansas. Now, one last graphic, and then I promise you guys we're going to get into the questions here. There's a lot of information I got to go over because it's 3 different days that we have severe weather potential here in Arkansas. It's not just one, but it's 3. So this is for Sunday. And Sunday, it's going to be, once again, depending on what happens during the morning, during the lunch time frame, and then during the afternoon. I have some concerns about the lift, once again, because your system is just going to be a touch to the north and west of Arkansas, but it's going to be further south this go around than it will be for tomorrow. So Sunday's threat is going to be a little bit worse than tomorrow's threat. Also, once again, morning storms. What happens with the threat out there in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas? I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it all on social media. Somebody out there is talking about, tornado outbreaks and stuff like that. What happens with those storms as they move east into Arkansas as we move into Sunday? That's the number one thing I want to kind of talk to you guys about as well. So, yeah, I know it's going to be, Kim, yeah, it's from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. on Sunday. I didn't mean 7 p.m., I mean 7 a.m. Just got to forgive me, folks. We were making this graphics first thing this morning, along with trying to get radar updates and stuff like that from the storms that were going in central Arkansas this morning. So we'll get all that corrected. But biggest deal, is for Sunday is we're going to have to wait and see on what happens as we move into Sunday morning. What the storms are going to look like as they push eastward. If it slows down, and I'm going to talk to you guys about this too, and since I'm getting into the comments, I'm going to talk to you guys about tomorrow, but Sunday, if it slows down, it comes in during the afternoon and evening, and there's no morning activity, it could be a long day, Sunday afternoon and a Sunday evening, because of the dynamics you're going to have in place. So something that we'll watch closely, but it's going to depend on what happens as we move into Saturday here. So is there a strong tornado potential as we move into tomorrow? I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm saying no is the biggest deal is this. Let me see if I can go back into my marker and we'll draw this out. Biggest deal is this. It's because your lift is to the north and west of Arkansas, and that's going to keep your tornado threat from really taking over as we get into tomorrow here. So just keep that in mind. I'm not expecting a strong tornado potential here in Arkansas unless your system tracks a little bit further to the south and east. Then we'll start talking about the tornado threat as we get towards tomorrow here. But right now, this is the biggest thing that's holding back your tornado threat as we move into tomorrow here. Biggest thing, I'm going to stress this as well, because a lot of people are seeing this on social media. I'm not going to use the outbreak wording with this because of what's happened with the last couple of events. There's always bust potential with severe weather. I know everybody's seeing on social media that everyone's screaming outbreak, 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 outbreak. But folks, this is what we do here at Arkansas Weather Watchers. We sit here and we break down every single potential. And right now, I'm not going to say this is going to be a severe weather outbreak. Is there a potential for severe weather over the next 3 days? Yes. Tomorrow, Saturday in western Arkansas, and then on Sunday. But is it going to be an outbreak? Way too early to determine. Tomorrow, definitely no. Saturday, no. Most of your forcings out to the west. We'll keep an eye on Sunday. But right now, no. I'm not going to compare this to the 2011, that generational event. And I've told you guys this over and over. That outbreak, what happened in 2011, is generational, and it's going to be very hard to repeat that. So I'm not gonna say outbreak on here. I'm not gonna go ahead and do that right now. So this is bust potential and not severe potential, correct? Because I want to talk to you guys about this as before we get into the next 3 days. That way you guys kind of know the perspective on both sides. Yes, you can see severe weather, but then you can see the bust potential as well. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that as well here. So let me go over to the timing. So I'm gonna have this up for tomorrow, so you guys can kind of come in. And if you're late, you can come in, ask the questions and stuff like that, and we'll get to you guys here because I've gone over pretty much all the graphics for the next 3 days here. Okay, so let me see here. So maybe I didn't get to see this question. How's it looking in northwestern Arkansas Saturday and a Saturday night? There could be a few strong storms up there in northwestern Arkansas. I think the majority of your lift that's going to cause the severe weather threat is going to be west of Arkansas. So there could be some isolated severe storms up there, but mainly a hail and wind threat as we move into Saturday and the Saturday night. I think the biggest severe threat is going to kind of hang back until Sunday. Great question. So what do we mean about cap and bust and hatched areas and stuff like that? So I'll break this down. Like this. The capping basically keeps thunderstorms from going up into the atmosphere, which keeps your severe threat pretty low. That's what's happened over the last couple of events, is that storms have started to develop, but they haven't been able to really mature because there's a lid in the atmosphere. That's why these last couple of severe threats have busted. Kind of answers your second question about bust. What we mean by bust is like, we have the potential of tornadoes and it doesn't happen. That's a forecast bust. That means that, you didn't see it. So that's what that means. And in the hatched area, it just depends. If you're talking tornadoes, it's EF2 plus. If you're talking hail, it's 2-inch in diameter or greater. If you're talking damaging winds, it's 75 mile per hour winds or greater. I hope that answered your question here. So in terms of rainfall, Aaron, thank you so much. I knew I forgot a graphic. Widespread 4 to 6 inches of rainfall still expected as we move into mainly on Sunday. Sunday is going to bring the majority of the heavy rainfall across the area here. So something that we'll keep an eye on. That flash flood potential is definitely on the table here as we move on the next 3 days. Going to Mount Magazine this weekend, is it going to rain all day on Saturday, or is it going to be hit and miss? Saturday, over there in Mount Magazine, you'll be lucky to even see maybe a few storms. I'm not really expecting a whole lot of severe weather on Saturday. I think tomorrow is going to bring storms. Sunday's definitely going to bring storms. Saturday is going to be kind of that lull period between the two systems here. So there could be a few pop-ups here on Saturday, but it shouldn't be a washout. But I'd bring that umbrella just to be on the safe side here, okay? So let me see here. Someone's birthday in here. Happy birthday. I don't know whose birthday it is, but happy birthday. So let me see here. Let me go over here. So, Martha, good question. What happens if the rain early comes in? That's another thing I was telling you guys about the blast potential. That's something that we'll watch as we move into tomorrow. If that rain comes in, if it's anything like it was this morning, you guys know how loud it was and the structure that you guys got this morning from the photos that we had. If it's anything like this morning and that intensity, then it's going to hold back your afternoon threat. But if it's anything like, a couple of showers here and there, a few isolated storms, nothing major, then your afternoon threat is going to be pretty intense coming in at this point. And we'll have that coming up here in just a little bit here. So, 4 descendants on Saturday or just over the next 3 days. It's going to be over the next 3 days, not just Sunday. The Sunday is going to be the majority of your rainfall, but you have storms coming in tomorrow as well. So you're kind of dividing Friday and Sunday for that 4 to 6 inch potential across the area. It's not all going to occur at once. It's going to be broken into different rounds. Like we have rain coming in as we get towards tomorrow. Could be a little bit on Saturday, and then the rest of it's going to come in on Sunday. Think like you're getting a big check, but it's broken into 3 pieces. You get one piece of the check on Friday, you get another on Saturday, and then you get the rest of it on Sunday, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's me. It's my birthday. Happy birthday. We're prepared for any possible severe weather this weekend. I am not going to be here on Saturday. Let me make this clear. Our executive director, Rich, is going to be in charge on Saturday. So if anything occurs, he's going to be taking over on Saturday. I will be back in the Weather Center on Sunday. I'm headed out west on Saturday. And then I will be back here on Sunday to give you guys the latest information with that. So I'm not going to be here on Saturday. I'll be here tomorrow, but I'll also be here on Sunday as well here. Okay, so let me see here. If y'all have any questions, this is the time to ask right now, guys. Don't wait until severe weather strikes. We have warnings all over the place, so start asking questions. I promise you guys, we don't bite. Ask the questions. None of your questions are going to sound stupid or anything like that. This is the time now. This is the time now to ask those questions. I'm sitting here. We don't have a lot to talk about because everything's pretty quiet. Let's get these questions going. Let's share this live stream. Let's get this information out, guys. Don't wait until we start having severe warnings or tornado warnings to start asking questions. This is the time right now to ask those questions here. So, yeah, Rich does an amazing job. Yeah, he keeps my hair black. He keeps us on the path here instead of on the swivel. So, oh, man. So, let's see here. How serious do you think Sunday's threat will play out? That's a really good question. I will say this. If you don't have those storms coming in first thing Sunday morning, it could get a little rough because you're going to have a lot of shear, good amount of instability to work with, and your dynamics are going to be further south as we get towards Sunday. I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest with you, if Sunday went enhanced too. We'll have to keep an eye on things here, but something that we'll keep an eye on over the weekend. It just depends on if we get those storms first thing Sunday morning. If we don't, it could be a little rough as we get towards Sunday here. So, are storms each day looking linear in nature, or we're looking more supercell? So, Amy, good question. Tomorrow's going to be mainly a supercell threat. We're going to have some storms coming out, more of a line first thing tomorrow morning, and then they're going to switch to a supercell threat during the afternoon, which I can get that up for you. That's going to be tomorrow. Saturday's going to be mainly a supercell threat up there in northwest Arkansas. And then on Sunday, and this is what makes Sunday kind of interesting, is that Sunday is a combination of both supercells and line segments as we move to that time frame. So that's why we're watching Sunday very, very closely. Sunday could be a big day for us here in Arkansas. So we'll keep an eye on that at this point. Okay, and yeah, for right now, eastern Arkansas, I think that's going to expand, by the way. I do believe that slight risk that we have in place on Sunday will expand into eastern Arkansas because your entire system is coming at you on Sunday instead of little bits and pieces like tomorrow and then a Saturday. Okay, so how's Matt knowing you're looking this weekend? For right now, as we get towards tomorrow, you could see a few storms down there, nothing too significant. Saturday, warm, humid. It's going to feel just like summer down there. And then on Sunday, you're going to have those severe storms that are going to be pushing through. I'll have a timing map and stuff like that over the weekend to address the Sunday threat. Yes, I will be out west chasing with our chase director, Derek, on Saturday out there in Oklahoma, Texas, and in Kansas, and we're going to follow that system back into Arkansas, and I'll be back in the studio to help you guys cover the severe threats we move to our Sunday. And Rich is going to be here, our forecaster Dustin, along with our moderators. All of our team is going to be here on Sunday to help you guys get through it here. Okay, so hoping the severe threat on Sunday is a bust. That is the biggest thing. It is always a W when it's a bust. I wish more people understood that. But yeah, it is always a W when we have a bust with severe weather, especially if we have significant severe weather potential on Sunday. So if we were to have severe weather on Sunday, what do you think the majority is going to be? And what I can do is I can go over, let's go over to here. This is going to be the model data real quickly, and let's talk to you guys about Sunday. So this is the GFS. I hate using the globals, but we'll go with it for right now. Kind of gives you the best example. So this is what I mean about Sunday. You got 1,001 millibar low up here in southeastern Kansas. There's going to be a lot of storms that's going to develop, and it's going to push eastward as we move into the day on Sunday. Now, this is the question that I'm going to answer, Kendra. The best threat on Sunday, if there were to be severe weather, I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably going to be the majority of the state. Because what happens if you go with the GFS is that line disappears, and then what happens is you get a redevelopment of supercells during the afternoon and evening on a Sunday. We're going to have team coverage with our Heartland Storm Chasers. We're going to have our chaser director Derek out there. We're going to have our chase manager Jesse out there as well. So we're going to have team coverage with them. It's going to be all hands on deck on Sunday. But the biggest deal is this is the area that I'd be concerned with on Sunday, and then storms will start the weekend as they move eastward. So we'll watch eastern Arkansas right now. I do believe you'll still see severe threat on Sunday, but western Arkansas, central and southwest on Sunday, something that we'll have to monitor very, very closely here, because you can see, let's take this out. This is first thing Sunday morning. The timing is going to be on your right side of the screen at 7 a.m. And then you see by the time we get towards lunch, it just fades out. Like this, the line just completely just dies out. And then you see that reassurance of development in western Arkansas as you move to about 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Those are supercell threats. And then you can see as it pushes eastward, by the time we get into Monday, this is going to move into Monday. Rich, I love you, by the way. We're going to be dealing with this as we move into Monday, by the way, dude. So we're going to have storms moving in. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely. But right now, I think the biggest threat on Sunday is going to be western Arkansas. Then it's going to carry into Sunday night. And it's going to carry into Monday. And then the Monday afternoon and Monday evening. And then we will finally put an end to this threat as well. And yeah, Dustin's been an amazing asset to us here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, saved my behind during the Hot Springs Village tornado earlier this year. We really appreciate you, man. So let me see here, going over some questions here. So as storm chasers, do y'all hope it's a bust or an outbreak? Personally, for me, I don't like seeing destruction. I don't like seeing people getting hurt. Severe weather, when it busts, is always a W on my end as a storm chaser and as a forecaster. I cannot speak for everybody else. I know on our Heartland Storm Chasing team, they feel the same way as I do. I can't speak for everybody else, though. But on my end, when severe weather busts, it's always a W. That's just how it is. Now, when you go out and chase, it does help whenever you go out there and you get, ground truth and stuff like that, because that does help with data. That helps with, confirming what's on the radar. But I don't like seeing destruction. I don't like seeing people getting hurt when there's severe weather. So if we do have severe weather, give it to me in a field where there's nobody out there and there's no animals, there's no people. It's just, nature. Just give me a storm out there and I'm good to go. So yeah, no sleep until it's sunny. Man, it's going to be sunny on Tuesday morning, hopefully. We don't have this thing delaying until then. So let me go back over to here, and I'm going to go over to the timing as we get towards tomorrow. So let me see here. So yeah, here's on what the uplift looks like. I understand lowering, but not uplift. So What that means, Don, that goes back to what we call the lift in the atmosphere, the lifting mechanism. And here's how you get lift. It's either a cold front, it could be a dry line, it can be a warm front, it could be some kind of boundary, something that comes in and lifts these storms up into the atmosphere. I'm questioning that tomorrow. I'm definitely questioning that on Saturday. Sunday, I think it's going to have the majority of the system coming our way. And that's where I think the majority of the severe weather will be for us here in Arkansas. But don't let our guard down tomorrow. Don't let your guard down on Saturday. But Sunday, if you have plans on Sunday, I would definitely keep my eye on the weather at this point. Okay, so how's Russellville looking for tomorrow here? So tomorrow we've got storms moving in first thing tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. to 5, and then you're gonna have another threat that's gonna move in as we move in tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. That time frame for your area is gonna be about 6 p.m. to 10 o'clock tomorrow evening here. So it's gonna be 2 different rounds tomorrow, and then we'll get into Saturday and Sunday's timing once we have a better idea on what we're looking at here. So just dropped in. Hey Cameron, you're awesome. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. Let me see here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they just prefer a tornado middle of nowhere so it can be watched without worry. Yeah, that's how I feel as a storm chaser. Give it to me without anybody getting hurt, without any destruction or anything like that. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere where we don't have to worry about anyone getting hurt or any damage to property or anything like that. That's where, as a storm chaser, I would prefer it. So let me see here. Let's see here. We'll go over the questions real quickly here. So yes, love chasing severe weather. Let me see. They have Rich going to be plenty on YouTube live here. So if y'all have any more questions, let me know. The hail threat. The hail threat as we move into tomorrow, especially across western Arkansas, could see 2-inch diameter hail or greater. On Saturday, same thing, especially if they're in northwestern Arkansas. Which is weird about Sunday's threat, because Sunday's threat, your hail threat is going to go down a little bit, but your tornado and damaging wind threat is going to go up on Sunday because you're going to substitute the lapse rates for more lift, more cold air aloft, and more directional shear as we move into Sunday here. So something that we'll keep an eye on at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to guidance, and what I'm going to do is let's take a look at the HR for just a little bit. And I'm going to go over to the 18Z so you guys kind of see a kind of simulated radar on what we're looking at as we move into tomorrow here, okay? So this is about 7 o'clock in the morning, so if you guys are wondering timing for tomorrow, this is going to be the area you need to pay attention to right here. That's going to be your timing if you need timing for tomorrow here, okay? So this is about 7 o'clock in the morning. You've got storms developing out here in Oklahoma, along the Red River, over here in southeastern and eastern Kansas, something that we'll have to keep an eye on. And then as it progresses into Arkansas, this is about 10 o'clock in the morning, have those storms moving in. I don't trust the HR 100% because it's going to kind of give you a false timing, but it gives you an idea. I'll just put it that way. It gives you an idea on what to look for, okay? So let's take this out. This is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. Good amount of shower and thunderstorm activity across the board. I would say keep an eye on this. That would be possibly what we call a QLCS potential. That'd be near Russellville on I-40. That's just north of Mount Ida. I'd keep an eye on this, but again, disclaimer, this is just one model. It's going to give you one idea. The other models are going to give you others. And then that moves through, and then you can see that it starts to really intensify as you move towards that 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So that's something that we will definitely keep an eye on. And then you can see as we move into about 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, supercell threat, Hot Springs, Mount Ida, over in Amina, over towards northwestern Arkansas. This is where we're going to have to watch the potential of large hail. Some of it could be very large hail up here, and also the tornado threat here. And like I said, the tornado threat is not going to be a big time threat because your lift is way to the north, but it just gives you an idea. It gives you a potential as we get towards tomorrow across the board here, okay? So let me see here. Howdy neighbors. Lived in central Oklahoma all my life. I downloaded oh yeah, that's what's his name? I think it's Aaron. He has a really good app out there. Yeah, he does great coverage out there. He gives it to you straightforward. There's no hype or anything like that. I think it's you have to remind me what his name is. I watched his coverage last night, but I recognize the app. Yeah, he does great coverage over there. It's no hype. I think that'd probably be the one and only source I'd give you out there in central Oklahoma that will give it to you with like no hype or anything like that. So yeah, also recharge your phones and all that. Make sure you get your batteries just in case, your weather radios. Beware, all that. Yeah, Aaron Total. Yeah, Aaron Total. Yeah. He gives you great coverage over there. I watch his coverage all the time over there when Oklahoma has a threat, and he gives it to you straightforward without any nonsense. So if you're in Oklahoma, I highly recommend checking him out. So let me see here. One of my guys got that one. Let's take a look just a little bit here. And like I said before, this is the time now. Sherry, thank you. This is the time right now to get yourself familiarized with your location. You know, go over your counties. If you're uncertain where your county is, it's a quick Google search and like, where's my county? You're in your county right here. You can always ask us as well. But this is the time right now to ask those questions. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till you see storms on the radar or warnings go up to ask those questions. This is the time right now to share this live stream. Let's get this information out. That way you guys aren't caught off guard as we get towards tomorrow. We've got about 200 people on the live stream. I know a lot of people avoid these live streams because they don't like coming in, but they like coming in when we have severe weather coverage. Don't do that, guys. It makes life tough for me and for our moderators. Come on in, ask the questions. I promise you, we don't bite here. We want to answer those questions, guys. We want you guys to be here at this point. Okay, so this is the time right now to get questions answered. So, how's Cabot looking Saturday afternoon? We can take a look at that real quickly here. As much as I don't trust the high-res NAM, I'll look at it. Boy, it ain't having anything tomorrow, which I do not buy at all. This is why I don't like using this model. But let's do this. I'll go over to, let's see the high-res is wanting to do something on Saturday. It's not wanting to do much. Let me make sure it's wanting to do something tomorrow. And it is. Okay, so the 12 km is different from the high-res. The high-res is always wanting to, like, cap everything off, but it's completely different. So as we move into a Saturday on Cabot, I think you're going to be good. Like I said before, I think the biggest threat on Saturday is going to be for our folks back out here in Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas. This area right in here is going to be your best shot. There could be a few storms that may try to sneak in. Let's see if I can recreate that. Give me 1 second. This area right in here, that's going to be your best threat. A few storms could sneak in western Arkansas, but right now I just don't see a whole lot of severe weather as we move into a Saturday. So Cabot, you're going to be right here. You're going to be good to go. The biggest severe threat is going to be out here in Oklahoma, Texas, and into Kansas as we move into tomorrow here. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go over a few more questions here. So, yeah, perhaps there's a little bit more attention because it's the anniversary of the 2014 tornado outbreak. It is, and I agree. But like I said before, don't wait until, you know, we have tornado warnings to start asking questions. Don't wait for that. Come on in, guys. Don't leave the live stream or anything like that. Come on in. Let's get these questions answered. That way you know what's going to be happening over the next 3 days. Don't wait until we're doing coverage to start doing that at this point. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind here. Yeah, we love all animals here at Arkansas Weather Watchers. Let me see here. What are your thoughts on Baxter, in Marion County for tomorrow? I would say keep an eye on things, especially tomorrow evening. There could be a few supercells that could give you some trouble. Main threat, large hail, damaging winds. Could be a few tornadoes as well here up there in that area here. So let me see here. Any tornado threat? Yes, I've gone over the tornado threat as we get towards tomorrow. It is a possible area across the board. Let's go back over to our graphics for just a little bit. And there's going to be the tornado threat for tomorrow from much of Arkansas, from basically Magnolia up to Jonesboro, back to the west and northwest. I wouldn't be shocked, by the way, especially if that supercell threat were to get materialized, that we'll have to keep an eye on this particular zone for that tornado threat. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. It just depends on what happens tomorrow morning with those storms at this point. So let me see here. Let me go over here real quickly here. Yeah, pray these storms weaken over this weekend. Yeah, this is the worst weekend to have it because it's the anniversary of the 2014 tornado. It's also the anniversary of the outbreak that we dealt with back in 2011. So this is climate speaking, this is the peak of when we see severe weather, and then it starts to kind of level itself out. We still see severe weather in May and June, but it kind of levels itself out beyond this point. So my phone shows nothing for tomorrow. That's why I hate weather apps. I hate them outside of ours. Outside of our weather app, ours is completely different. I hate the ones that are, pre-programmed into the phones nowadays, because let's take this warning for example. This is going to be a shout out to Heidi. You did an amazing job with the rain chances this morning across northern and central Arkansas. I looked at my weather app, outside of the one we have for AWW. It had zilch, nada, nothing. 20%, that was it. Had you gone with that, this morning, it would have been a complete shock. So that's why we don't recommend using those pre-programmed weather apps. We recommend using ours, or even coming to our page and asking the questions, because it just gives you like false deals like that. Like it'll say 0%, and then a storm will develop, and it'll go from 0 to 100 like very, very quickly. So just kind of keep that in mind. So any severe threats on Saturday? I have my daughter has softball tournaments in Texarkana, so we'll be driving pretty much on I-30 from Little Rock down. You're going to be good to go on Saturday. Right now, there could be a few pop-up storms. The biggest severe threat is going to be in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas as we move into Saturday. As a matter of fact, if you guys are interested, I have a lot of people in the comments that like storm chasing, etc. Go take a look at the one of my guys. If y'all can get the Heartland Storm Chasing link in the comments, that'd be very appreciated. Go check that out. Go subscribe to them. I'm going to be joining them on Saturday as we chase Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. And then we're going to push all that into Arkansas as we move into Sunday. And I'll be back in the Weather Center by then here. Okay, so let me see here. How concerned should we be in Boone County? Biggest threat, like I said, damage winds, large hail, a few tornadoes tomorrow. On Saturday, you should be relatively good to go. And then on Sunday is where the biggest threat is going to be across the state here. As a matter of fact, I do have a graphic for Sunday. I know it's going to be the bust potential, but this is the overall look for Sunday at this point. Much of western Arkansas at this point, and I will say this, just from everything I've looked, I wouldn't be shocked if this gets expanded probably to include the rest of the state, or at least probably right through here. And then there will probably be some sort of level 3 that gets issued. That's probably going to be somewhere right in here for Sunday. So this will probably be where the level 3 is, and then your 2 will go out here into eastern Arkansas. So I'll keep an eye on that for Sunday. It just depends on what happens on Saturday. There's a lot of uncertainty with the storm timing as we move into Saturday night into Sunday at this point. So let me see here. Yeah, so like so for go check these guys out. That's going to be our Heartland Storm Chasing if you are interested in that. You can also check us out on YouTube as well if you're wanting to kind of watch coverage and everything like that. And go download our weather app. It's going to give you everything you need to know at this point here. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go over to everything at this point. Go over everything. Let's see here. And Andy, I know a lot of people have bad weather anxiety, and I know a lot of people are kind of, either on edge. There's kind of two sides of the sword. You're either on edge about severe weather, or you're kind of on a situation where the last couple of systems have busted. Why should I put my guard up for this one? It's April in Arkansas. If you have that attitude, it's gonna bite you in the behind every time. I feel the same way sometimes when we forecast severe weather. Like, if one busts, why should we forecast the next one? We forecast the next one because the next one may not bust. That next one may have that severe weather potential, and it may happen. Kind of what happened this morning. You had trees down. You had hail. You had the hail across much of central Arkansas this morning. So that's why we tell you guys so much to keep your guard up, because it's spring in Arkansas. It's very unpredictable at this point. So let me see here. Blame it on the ADHD. Yeah. So let me see here. Rich, you may want to get that Virginia's comment. Because she says she loves our app, but the highlighted warnings in the county makes it difficult to see it on actual radar. Is there a way to temporarily turn off that feature? That might be something that Rich will be able to help you with. So, will these storms be quick, or will they be prolonged? Which day are you talking? Are you talking tomorrow? Are you talking Saturday, Sunday, or just all 3 days in general? I'll be able to answer that at this point. So, thanks for warning us days in advance. Everyone charge your phones. Have a plan just in case. Stacy, I love that comment. Thank you so much. It really, really means a lot at this point. So I think that's it, guys. Like I said before, if y'all have any more questions, let me know right now. I'm going to hang on for just a little bit longer and get these questions answered, and then we're going to hop off of here and get ready for the next 3 days. But the biggest deal is Don't wait until the warnings start. A lot of people love doing that. I don't know why, but a lot of people love doing that. When we have severe warnings or tornado warnings, they think that's the perfect time to ask questions, and it's not, because our moderators are having to keep up with that, along with keeping up with the warnings and keeping up with any storm reports. That's the worst time possible to ask questions, guys. It makes our moderators' lives chaotic. So this is why we do it right now when it's quiet, because our moderators are free. We're able to get to your question easier. We're not having to worry about all that other stuff. This is the time right now to ask those questions here. So I'm just joining in. How's Thursday looking? Main threat's going to be the potential of damaging winds. Large hail. I think the tornado threat is there, but I think your tornado threat for tomorrow is going to be better to the west. We'll keep an eye on it. Don't let your guard down. On Saturday, you're going to be solid. And then on Sunday, I think your tornado threat is definitely going to be there. And Sunday, like I said before, I'm honestly shocked. Rich, I was talking about this last night. I'm shocked they didn't go 30. But I will say this, and let me see if I can pull this up, because I can pull up their outlook from last night. They did talk about it. I think, what was it? Chandler, we talked about it today too. I think you said something about, like, I think Shreveport was kind of hanging on before they went 30, which I agree. I get. Don't get me wrong. Let me see here. Let me go over to this, and I will take this down for just a little bit. And this is their discussion for, I do believe it's going to be for Sunday. Let me see here. There it is. Okay, so there's the potential for the threat to be what's called bimodal. Basically, you'll have a threat to the north and a threat to the south. Let's see here. A separate area across the Arklatex region, where a region of somewhat more favorable moisture and instability. However, the storm evolution remaining rather uncertain. A continuous 15% area has been maintained in this area with some adjustments. So they almost went 30 last night, but the uncertainty, which is, like I said before, but the last couple of events, the uncertainty is at its ultimate high right now. That uncertainty precluded the 30% at this point. So thank you so much. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you, Virginia, for that. It means a lot. Also, another thing, take the damage you win in hail threat just as serious. I tell you what, this morning, boy, those storms were loud this morning. I mean, jeez, they were loud. Coming into the central Arkansas area. So, and that was just damaging winds and hail. That wasn't even a tornado threat. So that's why we tell you guys so much. Those severe thunderstorm warnings, you make sure you take those seriously. So basically, central Arkansas, Friday, keep those eyes open. Saturday, I'd be honest with you, you may not even see a drop of rain on Saturday. Saturday is going to be warm. It's going to be humid. It's just setting the environment up for what's to come as we move into Sunday. So Saturday, you might not even see much, but we'll keep an eye on that. And then on Sunday, keep your eyes open. And then on Monday's threat, quote unquote, should be lower than Sunday's. But you also know Arkansas weather. You know how unpredictable it can get. So we'll keep an eye on Monday as well. Monday should be mainly a wind and hail threat. But we'll watch things very closely. That's just going to depend on how fast the system departs. Be safe, Storm Chase. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Tammy, for that. I will be back in the Weather Center on Sunday. Rest assured. And like I said before, you're in great hands with Rich, with Dustin, with Heidi, with the rest of our moderator team. They do an amazing job, guys. You're in great hands. So you don't have to worry about that here. So what is the hail threat for northern Arkansas for Friday? Let's go back to it real quickly here. This is going to be your hail threat. Pretty likely zone for hail across northern Arkansas and southern Missouri for Friday. If you're in southwestern Missouri, you could even see the potential 2-inch diameter hail or greater at this point here, okay? So it's Friday and Sunday storm is going to be quick. To be more specific, sorry for being vague. So basically what you mean is, like, is it going to be like the storm motions? Are they going to be fast or are they going to be slow? I would say on Sunday's storms are going to be slower than Fridays. Fridays is going to be pretty quick. Your storm motion should be about 40 to 50 miles per hour, which means your storm is going to be moving at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. On Sunday, I think it's going to be a little slower. It just depends. It's going to depend on what happens at this point here. So, yeah, straight line winds can have just as much or even more damage than the tornado threat because the tornadoes are localized, where the damaging wind threat is more widespread. So let me see here. So what do the temperatures look like? Pretty warm on Saturday. We're talking temperatures in the 80s. I wouldn't be shocked, especially if you get sunshine in southern Arkansas, that somebody squeaks out a 90 on on Saturday. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Sunday temperature should be in the 70s, low 80s. Tomorrow temperature should be the same, 70s and 80s here. So when the wind gust goes up, my head goes up and I'm on alert. Anna, excuse me, I was looking at another comment while trying to read yours. Blame the ADHD. I wish everyone would have that mindset, because that's how it is with severe weather. It's so unpredictable here in Arkansas. So I'm joining in late. A lot of people are joining in late. Do you have timing for Northwestern Arkansas for tomorrow? Yes, I do. It's going to be from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. round number 1. And then you're going to have round number 2. That's going to be from about 8 p.m. to about midnight tomorrow night at this point. So if y'all are live on Heartland Storm Chasing, I'll be there watching, unless we have severe weather here. Thank you so much for that. Like I said before, go subscribe to them. They do an amazing job over there. Them boys over there at Heartland Storm Chasing here. So what is the timeline for Friday in Central Arkansas? It's broken up into 2 different rounds. One 7 a.m. Let me go back and make sure. Not 7 a.m. It's going to be 10 a.m. Excuse me. 10 a.m. till 5. And then the next round, it's going to be from about, in Central Arkansas, from about 6 p.m. till 10 across the board. And like I said, the timing is going to vary once we get a better idea on the data over the next 12 hours here. So just a note to others that are a fan of communicating, at this point you can access the AWW page from, if you download it. Yeah, there you go. So for those that are coming in, having trouble on Facebook, you can download our weather app, and it gives you the Facebook page. That way you're not having to battle Facebook, and all you gotta do is turn notifications on, and the app's gonna alert you every time we make a post on Facebook here. So yeah, that's what I was saying. That's how I predict the weather a lot in the humidity here. So dew points are gonna be like I said, for Saturday, it's gonna feel like a summer day. Dew points in the upper 60s, low to mid 70s. It's gonna feel muggy. I'd be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody in South Arkansas has a heat index problem. We'll have to watch that closely as we move into this upcoming weekend here. So Van Buren, what can I tell you? So tomorrow, biggest deal up there is going to be for the potential of damaging winds. Significant hail could be possible, 2-inch in diameter hail, and also a potential of a few tornadoes. Your threat, you're going to have storms moving in first thing tomorrow morning. They're going to die off, and then you're going to have another round that's moving tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. I think that threat tomorrow afternoon is probably going to carry more of the tornado threat, to be honest with you, than round number 1. But we'll keep an eye on things here. We're going to be here all day tomorrow at this point. So let me see here. Yeah, the fact that we had 90s in April is absolutely crazy. Last time that happened, it was, I want to say my memory's right, it's going to be 2012. And we know how that summer went. It was absolutely brutal here in Arkansas. So does your app give audio alerts? Right now it doesn't. I think, Rich, we had a discussion about that. You had talked about it before, that it was going to come with the next update of the app. I think that'd be a lot of people would love that. We'll probably have that with the next round. Basically next round that comes out with the app. So Central will get 2 rounds of storms. I think round number 1 is going to carry more of a damaging wind and hail threat. And then round number 2 is going to carry all modes. I wouldn't say let your guard down with round number 1, because the warm front is moving northward tonight. So we'll keep an eye on things. But I think round number 2, because round number 2 is going to be a supercell threat. I think there were to be the tornado threat, it's going to be with that. As we move into tomorrow here. Okay, so main deal, like I said before, damage winds, large hail, tornado threat. I'm not going to sit here and say, one area is going to get tornadoes and stuff like that. We can't forecast that, guys. We can tell you that there's a risk that it's possible, but we cannot sit here and predict that, you're going to get a tornado here, or you're going to get a tornado there, or it's going to happen here. We can't do that. It's not going to happen. So the biggest threat tomorrow, damage winds, hail, and that tornado threat as we get towards tomorrow. And then we'll have more information for the Saturday and Sunday threat as we move forward here. And I want to make this clear too. I know there's a lot of people out there that are skeptical. I get it. I do. Especially what's happened over the last couple of events. With severe weather, it happens. You're not going to get severe weather to happen 100% of the time, and you shouldn't be wishing for it. But a lot of people are skeptical right now. You're at that point in I was talking to my team about this last night. You're at that point of the year where you've had multiple severe busts, and then you have that one big system that comes in, kind of like what happened last year with Rolling Fork, what happened with Little Rock tornado. Before those events happened, a lot of people don't know this, that February, March, that early March time frame, we had multiple severe weather busts. I mean, we had several severe weather events that just didn't happen. And a lot of people went into late March last year thinking, we're not going to see severe weather. It's not going to happen. And then Rolling Fork happens. And then Little Rock happens. And then you get April 4th that happened last year. That happened up there in northwestern Arkansas. So that's why I tell you guys all the time, I get the skepticism. I do. But it comes to a point. It comes to a point where you have to keep an eye on every severe weather threat, because you never know if some of them are going to bust and some of them are not at this point. So let me see here. Yeah, Dustin, great comment. Calm minds make clear decisions. Get all the information that you can right now. Quinn, great question. I've been waiting to see if you were going to come in and ask a question up there. Yes, that morning round could limit your severe threat during the afternoon, but also depends on how fast it gets out. If your morning round comes in, it's out about 10 o'clock in the morning, you have from 11 to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon for your atmosphere to overturn, and then you get that supercell threat, right? So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll have to keep an eye on that as we move into tomorrow at this point. So now looking forward to this. Who's going to be manning YouTube while we're out chasing? Like I said before, we've got things covered. We got our executive director, Rich. He's going to be here. Dustin, our forecaster, is going to be here. We've got Heidi. We've got Ruth. We've got Abby. We've got our amazing moderator team. We guys are covered. So I'm not a one-man show here. I promise you. I'm not. There's an entire team behind me that's going to be keeping you guys updated throughout this entire next 3 days. So just keep that in mind at this point. So, yeah, our grandkids and kids are in Valonia, too, and we were in that tornado. Yeah. And that's what I mean from last year. So I hate this time of the year because you have all these busts and then you get that one big event and it happens. And a lot of people, would normally take severe weather seriously don't. And it's for the right reason, because you've had all these busts. So that's why I tell you guys, I know, I get it, but keep your guard up. Keep your guard up with every severe weather threat, bust or not, because you just never know, especially here in Arkansas. So, will Drew County see any rainfall? I think the main threat for rainfall over there in Drew County is going to hold off until a Sunday threat. You may see some tomorrow, depending on how far east these storms get. But Saturday's going to be dry. It's going to be warm and humid. And then I think the majority is going to come in for your area as we get into Sunday at this point here. So, let me see here. Just for Polk County, you have a threat for storms as we get towards tomorrow morning and as we move into tomorrow afternoon. And then on Saturday, we'll watch for a few storms that may try to come out of Oklahoma over there. And then we're going to have to watch Sunday as well here at this current point. So same thing for Faulkner County. Main threat tomorrow, dangerous winds, RHL, few tornadoes. Saturday's going to be pretty chill. I know a lot of people have plans outdoors on Saturday. It's going to be pretty chill unless you live in far western Arkansas. The closer you live to Oklahoma on Saturday, I'll give you this. The closer you live to Oklahoma on Saturday, the better your severe threat's going to be. The further away you live from Oklahoma, the less your severe threat's going to be on Saturday. So let's keep that in mind. So have you touched the timing on Saturday and Sunday yet? Right now, no, because there's a lot of uncertainty, especially with Sunday. I can go back to the model data and kind of give you like a little bit of a heads up on what we're looking at in terms of the timing. But right now, I haven't made a timing map for it because there's just a lot of uncertainty. So on Saturday, I would say right now, if there were to be a timing map, it'd be in far western Arkansas, and it'll probably be from 2 p.m. to, we'll go for about 2 p.m. till 10 at this point, if you were to just kind of go with an estimate timing right now here. So when is he coming home, or he or she coming home to northwestern Arkansas? Is it going to be on Saturday, or is it going to be on Sunday? I'd be able to answer your question a little bit better, because on Sunday, it's pretty much going to be all day when we have that storm potential at this point. We had lots of cities and county roads flooded with 5 inches of rainfall this morning in southern Johnson County. I remember that because the cluster stalled out. I was wondering how much rainfall for your area first thing tomorrow morning. I would say right now, just a generalized area, probably a good 1 to 2 inches of rainfall tomorrow. And then you have another round coming in as we get towards on Sunday. So right now, you've already seen that 4 to 6 verify. You may see some locally higher amounts as we move into the next 3 days here, Todd. So let me see here. Let me go over everything real quickly here. So rain potential on Monday. Monday is uncertain right now. I would say this. We'll have to watch if there were to be a threat for thunderstorms on Monday. It's going to be in eastern and southern Arkansas. And it's going to be wind and hail threat. I don't want to put a tornado threat on Monday right now because your main system is going to be gone. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. You guys know Arkansas weather here in Arkansas is a little unpredictable at this point. Okay, so let me see here. Was heading back on Sunday, but maybe not from what you just said. Yeah, I would prefer, Anna, if it was Saturday. I would prefer it. I'd prefer if it was Saturday for them to come back to northwestern Arkansas, because Sunday it's going to be a little chaotic here. So yeah, we even had a tornado in January, 24 hours for winter weather. I remember that. Winter weather and severe weather, neck and neck with each other like that. I remember that. So that's how unpredictable things can get here in Arkansas. So we live in the Valonia area. If they don't know already, please let your loved ones know that school shelters will be open when sirens are going off, especially during after school hours. Thank you, Virginia, for that. And like I said before, I know a lot of people are skeptical right now. I can tell because a lot of people are coming in and they're leaving because they're thinking, oh, it's just this guy on social media talking about, severe weather again. That's probably not going to happen. This go around, just from a gut feeling, from a forecaster's perspective, I think it's going to happen. I think you're going to have that severe threat, especially on Sunday. I think Sunday needs to be watched very, 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 very closely at this point. Not taking anything away from tomorrow or Saturday, but I think Sunday is probably going to be the biggest threat, especially for us here in Arkansas. So let me see here. I think that's really it in terms of the questions right now here. So I'm going to hang on for a little longer. I think there's probably a few stragglers here and there. Can you show us future radar? I can. I wouldn't take it for, 100% granted because it's going to vary from here and there. But I can show you radar here. As a matter of fact, there's some new data coming in right now from the HRR. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning here. I said I wouldn't take this timing for nothing because what we saw this morning, HR didn't really have too much. And then it all of a sudden had that cluster coming our way here. So it has this line of storms pretty much moving through. I'm going to see what ends up happening out of this. If it weakens on approach, we'll have to watch as we get into tomorrow here. But I would say things are going to get loud across western Arkansas first thing tomorrow morning. It's about 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. I just realized I drew in the wrong area. Let's do this. There we go. So about 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, there could be some storms moving into western Arkansas from Fayetteville. That's along I-49. That's 40. That's Fort Smith. That's Mena down to DeQueen, down towards Texarkana. So something that we'll watch very closely at this point as these storms continue to move off towards the east. I'm going to see what happens downstream at this point. This is the 0Z coming in. So I'll probably try to squeak a FeatureCast video out later on this evening or something like that. We'll just have to wait and see at this point. So just now joining in, what's the info from Mississippi County? I think you guys are going to be waiting until Sunday. You all honest opinion over there in Mississippi County. I think you're going to be waiting until Sunday to see anything. And I'm talking rainfall too. So what about Benton? Benton, I do believe it's going to be tomorrow afternoon with this. I'm going to see what happens with this cluster of storms that's moving in. This is about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So we're just waiting to see what happens at this point. So, yeah, love this comment. I love this comment. Do not fall for the little boy cried wolf syndrome. Treat every potential like that. And like I said before, I'm going to throw you guys back to last year. February, March, before the Rolling Fork and Little Rock tornadoes, I mean, it was back-to-back-to-back severe weather busts here in Arkansas. And then you finally had that big event. So we don't do that here. If you think we do that here, we apologize, but we don't. So I love this comment. You got to be prepared because you just never know. Because you'll think it's just like playing, it's just like betting on the Arkansas Razorbacks. You think you've got them, going 9-3, and then we have a season like last year that goes 4-8. So it's just like that, guys. We don't want to take that risk when you're dealing with severe weather here. Okay, so it says just now my areas tomorrow night is supposed to be very loud. I know the weather apps are going to give you kind of false timing. It's going to tell you one timing, and then it's going to come to you first thing tomorrow morning like, oh yeah, there's storms. So that's just what's going to happen with those pre-programmed weather apps. I don't know why it's like that, but it is what it is. So take this severe weather threat seriously every single time, folks. If you do, I appreciate it. If you don't, then like I said before, just stay with us. We're going to be here. We're going to still do our jobs. We're still going to keep you guys updated regardless. So with us having a mild winter, yes, that we're in for a bad summer. I don't like comparing what happened in winter and in the summer, but here's the deal. You go back to 2011, we didn't have much of a, we had snow, don't get me wrong, in January and February, but then, spring came early in 2011, and then you got in the summer, it was just brutal. Same thing in 2012, same thing in 2013, I think 2014 was like that too. So, yeah, whenever we have one of those mild winters, it does lead to a pretty rough summer in terms of temperatures here. So, one thing that I want to mention, we don't control the watches and warnings. I would say a best bet that they will probably go severe thunderstorm watch with this, unless there is a strong guarantee that we will be dealing with tornadoes. But I think they go severe thunderstorm watch with this one as we get towards tomorrow. But we'll just have to keep an eye on it at this point here. So I missed the updates. Anything about Central Arkansas, I say you're not missing anything. We're still kind of going over everything. Main threat, damaging winds, large hail. Tornado threat for tomorrow. You get a break on Saturday. And then the same thing repeats as we move into Sunday. Sunday's threat could be a little bit higher than Friday and Saturday's threat at this point. We've got prom Saturday night at 7. I would like a location before I can give you an accurate answer on that. Going to Jonesboro this weekend. Like I said before, you're in Eastern Arkansas. I think you guys are going to be chilling for a little bit until Sunday. I think Sunday's going to be more of a widespread threat for everybody. And then we'll have to watch tomorrow and the Sunday. We'll keep an eye on tomorrow. I wouldn't rule out some of these storms kind of sneaking up here in the northeastern Arkansas, but I think your best coverage is going to be back over here in the western Arkansas, central Arkansas, southwest, back over here in eastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas. I think that's going to be the best coverage as we move into tomorrow here, okay? So we got prom. That's in the Bearden area down there in southern Arkansas. Saturday night, you should be good. You should be good to go. And then Sunday is when we start having the severe threat coming into Arkansas here. So planning to travel from Fayetteville to Little Rock Friday evening, you're going to rush straight into storms. I'm telling you that right now. And then from Little Rock back to Fayetteville Sunday afternoon to Sunday evening, I would change that timing. If you could leave on Saturday, that'd be preferred, or you can leave on Monday. If you leave Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, going back to Fayetteville, you're going to run straight into storms. So if you're planning on traveling, please be safe. But yeah, if you can, I would move that from Sunday to Saturday if all possible here. So I wasn't in Arkansas the 2011 to 2014. Husband was in active duty during that time. Yeah, it was rough. I remember the 2011, 2012 summer because I used to play football a lot, and that summer was brutal. I mean, it was just absolutely brutal. So photo shoots in Texarkana Saturday morning. Right now, you should be good to go. I think this activity is going to move out, and we should be good to go for Saturday morning. So if you got an event, you're going to be good to go at this point here. Okay, so Harrison tomorrow, same thing. Damage winds, large hail, tornado threat across the board. Timing, we can go back to the timing map real quick. For your area, let's go back over to round number 1. Round number 1 is going to be for your area about 10 a.m. till 5. And then round number 2 is going to be from about 8 o'clock tomorrow evening to about midnight, and then we should be good to go across the board. There is a lot of events on Saturday in this weekend. Honestly, and just going back in previous years, this is probably the worst weekend to ever plan something, because this is when we start getting. This is where the severe weather is at its highest. So we have a baseball tournament on this weekend. I think the Hogs are playing this weekend as well. I mean, you've got a lot going on at the worst time possible with these storms moving in. So yeah, I could see it being canceled, especially if it being on Sunday. So do we have a severe threat for Sunday? Yes, we do. Let's go back to it real quickly here. Kind of give you guys an overall look. This is going to be on Sunday. This is the bust potential for Sunday, but this is the risk area at this point. Basically, from Magnolia to Little Rock, upwards to western Arkansas, this is going to be your threat. I'm fully expecting this to push eastward within time. So don't worry about If you're not in the risk area right now, this is going to get pushed east within time here once we get a better idea on what we're looking at this point. But this is going to be for tomorrow. This is tomorrow's stuff for those that are coming in at this point. So it's a three-day event. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 3 days. Friday, you're going to have storms. Saturday, the biggest threat is going to be west of Arkansas. We have to watch that northwestern Arkansas area. But folks, if you're worried about Saturday here in Arkansas, it is not going to be a widespread event on Saturday. I know there's a lot of people that have plans, etc. The biggest threat is going to be in western and northwestern Arkansas. Closer you are to the Arkansas border, that's where your severe threat is going to be. The further east you go, your severe threat starts to drop off at this point. Good question. Convective available potential energy. The Cape is off the charts for tomorrow. That's going to be a lot for storms. I agree. My kid is supposed to go to Branson on Saturday. Ooh, up there in southwestern Missouri. I wouldn't let him do it. You're going to run straight into severe weather up there as we move into Saturday here. As a matter of fact, there could be an outbreak up there as we move into Saturday. So I wouldn't let him do it if at all possible here. So just waiting to see what the latest data is wanting to do. And let's go over to that real quickly here. And what it's wanting to do is to move into tomorrow. So it's pretty much falling on the time frame that we have. We have storms moving in first thing tomorrow morning. And then you get this boundary that kind of pushes out across the board. Let's take a look at the instability. This is going to be a very good question. You know, instability is going to be flowing in the entire time. But if you have a lot of cloud cover and a lot of rainfall, it's going to hold back that instability from really coming in. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we move into tomorrow. I'll have an update on the timing coming up at this live stream, and then we'll have one tomorrow. I'll probably come with you guys first thing tomorrow morning. We'll see. Probably tomorrow morning, probably around 9-ish or something like that. I'll have a live stream for you guys if we don't have any major severe weather going on first thing tomorrow morning here. Okay, so let me see here. So actually, it's looking like we'll be okay on Saturday unless you're up there in Rogers or in the Fayetteville area. Yeah. So it's Saturday, overnight hours. Yeah, we'll have to watch how those storms out there in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas as they push eastward here, guys. But I think that is it in terms of everybody that's coming in. For those that did tune in, I thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for taking this seriously. Thank y'all for trusting us and coming in early and asking the questions. Y'all mean a lot to us here at Arkansas Weather Watchers. You know, there's going to be those that are coming in that are late. Make sure you rewind the live stream. If you still have questions, you can always ask. We'll get to you. Kim, as a matter of fact, we have a Q&A thread on Facebook. If you missed the live stream, it's no problem. You can go to that thread and get your questions answered. Not your answered questions. You get your questions answered here. So I will take this one real quick. Mina to Little Rock, 4:30 in the morning. Traveling at 4:30 in the morning with an appointment at 8 o'clock. Is it going to be tomorrow? I'm assuming it's going tomorrow. If it is, I think getting to Little Rock is going to be great. It's getting back from Little Rock to Mina is where you're going to have the problems. So, Sharon, if I were you, if at all possible, probably move the appointment to probably Monday or Tuesday of next week if you can. If you can't, then it's okay. But yeah, it's no severe weather on Saturday. No, we're not really expecting a whole lot on Saturday, but we'll keep an eye on it. If things start trending eastward, we'll let you guys know. I will say this. Once the threat for severe weather comes to an end tomorrow night, our executive director Rich is going to be taking over the forecasting position for Saturday, so things may change. So we'll be able to get with you guys a little bit better about Saturday. Right now, I do believe, just based off everything I have seen, the biggest threat's going to be out there in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. But Rich does an amazing job, and he's going to let you guys know if this thing starts pushing a little eastward as we get into Saturday here, okay? So, thank you, Cameron, for stay safe. If any National Weather Service radars go out like recently, do you guys have a way to still see? Yes, we do. There's always plan B. No matter what you do in life, folks, there's always a plan B. You got to have a plan B. So, we have that here in the Weather Center at this point. So, no, funny enough, no, we're going to be going out west on Saturday to chase the big threat out there in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. I'm going to be going out with Derek out there to Oklahoma and Texas Friday night into Saturday at this point here. So just kind of keep that in mind. So right now, I do believe that is it. Let me see here. What about Stuttgart? I've already gone over Stuttgart in Eastern Arkansas. I think it's going to be Sunday where you see the majority. We'll see what happens tomorrow. There could be a few storms tomorrow. Saturday, you should be good to go across the area here. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys at this point. Like I said before, to kind of reiterate, tomorrow we're going to be here. We're going to have coverage. We're going to have storms tomorrow. Saturday is going to be Western Arkansas. And then on Sunday is going to be the majority of the state. We're going to be watching things very closely. If you have any questions, go to this link right here. That link right there is going to help you out a lot. We'll be able to get you guys questions answered and everything like that here, okay? So on Saturday, I'm not going to be in the Weather Center. I'm going to be out west with our chase director, Derek, and the Heartland Storm chasing team. We're going to be out there chasing. We're going to follow that system back into Arkansas as we move into Sunday. I will be back in the Weather Center on Sunday, and Derek's going to be out with the team. We're going to have team coverage on Sunday going over that severe weather threat. Renee, as always, we're going to have a continuous live feed. If you guys can do me a big favor in the comments, how would you guys like a 24/7 channel down the road? I don't know if it's going to be, the summer or in the fall or something like that. If you guys would like that, let me know in the comments if you do or if you don't. But with every severe weather threat, we do have that continuous live feed, so you don't have to worry about it. You're going to be good to go. But that's all I got for you guys this evening. Like I said before, we're going to be back tomorrow morning, giving you guys kind of an update on what's going on. And we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.